So glad that you guys are excited for this because I'm also excited for this. Okay, before I do anything else, I just want to make sure that you guys can hear everything. Because we've been having issues with that, so can you... I assume if you weren't able to hear the game audio, you would have said something by now. Can be heard? Oh, awesome. Okay, good. I still haven't figured out why that's happening. It just sometimes OBS decides to pretend like it's picking up the desktop audio when it's actually not. It's a thing, but whatever. Alright. God, wrong thing. Wrong screen. There we go. That's correct. I am professional. Professional. Cool. Okay, so. We're still dating Rod. I think we're on chapter 6, I think. But here's the question that I have, and it's gonna require someone who's played the game, 6 or 7, I forget. I wanna say 6, but I'm not sure. Someone messaged me after the last stream of this, and told me that the bad endings are good, and that we should see them. And if that is, first, can you confirm or deny that that's the case? If you know. Doesn't sound like you know. Never done the bad endings? Well, someone told me that they're good. No, not good as in funny. I'm sure they mean good as in well written. I'm expecting like Dandelion tier bad endings based on what this person said. So probably sad is more along the lines of what we're going for here. So I think in order to get the bad ending, yeah, where's Mac when we need her? I don't know. I always avoid the bad endings. Well, you know, for the sake of completion, we may do it. I'm just trying to decide what the easiest way to get them is going to be. And I think the person said that you need to get 2 wrong in order to get the bad ending. So what I'm thinking we might do is that the next 2 options we see, I'm just gonna make another save, and figure out what the bad things are, if we're at 6. Bad endings are always a loose term. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, but... Alright, let's see where we're at. I have 2 saves here for some reason. I think this is... Yeah, this is the more recent one. We're on chapter 6, for sure. But we have this save, so we could just go from here for the bad ending and get 2 wrong. But should we do that before we do the good ending or after we do the good ending is gonna be the real question. Like, do we want to end on a high note or want to end on the bad note? Ah, Mac, you're here! How much do you know about the bad endings for this game? Do you know anything? You were dumped, rocks fall, everyone dies. Always good ending first, but then we'll end the stream on the bad ending, and that might be kind of sad. When I did Dandelion, I did the bad endings first, before getting the good endings. But I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. You guys can decide. If we're gonna start with the bad ending, then I'm gonna start from here, and just pick the wrong choices. Now let's start bad. Mac, do you know anything about the bad endings? For context, Mac, you weren't here for the beginning. Someone messaged me after we streamed this game last time and said that the bad endings are good and that I should see them. If you pick mostly bad choices. Okay. Have you seen the bad endings? Is it worth it? I trust you. You know my standard for bad endings. Like, I'm thinking, like, if it's like Dandelion, Mystic Messenger bad ending, then it's worth it. They're a thing? What does that mean, Mac? That's not descriptive. Are they worth seeing? Should we see them? I trust you. I don't know. Have you not seen them? Is that maybe why you're being so cagey? Or you just don't want to spoil anything? One of the two. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't matter, but, like, since, I mean, this is, like, you've seen them, like, I just don't know, is it worth it? Like, or should we just progress on our happy lives and just do the good endings and call it a day? Like, I'm ambivalent on this, just someone told me that they're good. And so now I'm expecting, like, Dandelion Mystic Messenger status good, and so if that's the case, then I would want to see it. I would recommend it, you can get it real fast. Oh, is it, like, not at the end? Not that good? What do you guys think? Do you want to see it? Because that's, like, my that's, like, my tier list for bad endings. Not particularly, I don't know, but still good. How easy are they to get? Like, do I just have to screw up, like, 2 things and then it immediately happens, or do I have to play through the whole game? That's probably a factor. Like, I don't know. You know how I'm bad at making decisions, like, through the whole thing, probably? That's what I figured. That was what would make sense. I mean, we could just skip, is the thing, like, it's not difficult. That would require us doing the good ending first. It's okay, I can listen to this music all day. Like, this is great music. I still say no to the bad endings. The last chapter changes if it's the bad ending, then chapter 10 is different. This is now a music appreciation stream. Okay, Mac, you've seen them. I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on you for a second, okay? Is it worth it? will I appreciate it? I know, it's really good, right? I'm not, like, gonna be upset or anything either way. I just want to know your honest opinion. Is it worth doing on stream, or is it something I should just do in my own time? Is it something that everyone will want to see, or do we not care? I liked it. Okay. So is that a yes then? I don't want my heart broken. Well, that's why we do it first. I'm bad at choosing. I know, so am I. That's why I'm asking you. Okay, everyone vote right now. Everyone vote yes or no to bad endings. And I will go with whatever you guys say. Besides Devil Kitty, I know what you want. Okay, well, you said it again anyways. We're all bad at choices. Gotta live with the consequences, so yes. Alright, now we've got one of each. Yes. Mac, don't tie it up. Mac, are you gonna tie it up? Damn, screw it. Let's do it. It won't be that bad. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna do it. Okay, so here is my plan. I'm gonna remember where I am, right here. And then I'm gonna try and skip forward. I mean, obviously, I'm not much farther past this. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Okay, what was the bad choice here? Does anyone remember? Not that it matters, because I'm just gonna reload. I think I just want to thank him, right? Yeah. Thank you. We've already seen this, because I... Whoops. I clicked out of the game. So much could change in those 4 minutes. I know. And blah, blah, blah. We have seen this, because I did pick this one first. And now we have our mom being rude. There is a skip button. I know. I'm just afraid that it's gonna skip. Like, here's my plan. So I'm gonna skip. What I did was get to chapter 10, then saved immediately, then went back to the beginning of the route. And just picked all the bad ones. Oh, maybe we should do that. Oh, that might be a better idea. Because then we can just skip everything, like, easily. Let's do that. That seems like a way smarter plan. And then when we do that, can someone just have a list pulled up of all the bad choices? That sounds smart. Good thinking, Mac. Thank you. Alright, so we're still going on the good path for now. Ahem. Oh yeah, we found out that my mom was like the bad witch. That's what happened last time. It has been days since Parfait and Delora revealed my mother's true identity and the inevitable responsibility I am to have on my shoulders once I turn 18. I've been trying to ask the king about Mother, but he's even busier these days than he was before. It's impossible to find a single moment in the day to speak with him. Mom's kinda bad. The fact that I'm a maid makes it even harder to garner his attention. When I'm not on break, I continue to do my duties serving Emmeline. Right now I'm accompanying her as she practices her walk and posture. Ophelia has been helping her, pointing out any mistakes she finds. Oh, the Queen. I was like, who the heck is that? It's your mom. I know how hard this is, dear. I had to go through this training as well before I married the king. Emmeline allows her shoulders to slouch as she lets out an exasperated sigh. I've always hated these lessons. I thought my posture was fine. This is supposed to refine it, and yet all these lessons have been doing is hurting my back. Oh, Emmeline, you'll get the hang of this. You just need to keep practicing. We just stop when it's something new. It took like 2 minutes. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But Mother, I've had the same lesson before. Why must I do it again? Because that way, if we go to chapter 10, and then we stop there, this will be the good ending one, and then we start again, and then just skip through everything we've seen. That makes sense, right? I'm not explaining it properly, but you know what I'm trying to say. Because you slouch when you walk, and that's unbecoming of a princess. Emmeline scowls at her mother, and Ophelia's frown falls away as she bursts into laughter. Mother, you're not helping! The atmosphere in the room is far from heavy as Emmeline and her mother continue to conduct their lessons. And then we'll have the good ending. Yes, we'll do the bad ending first, and then we'll end with the good ending. And that's what we'll do from now on. It's almost the exact opposite of the lessons I had with Mother. Mother always got angry when I made even the smallest mistakes. I know this is hard, but as the crown princess, all eyes will be on you during the ball. The people there will judge any small mistake you make, which is why you need to be in top form on that night. I know. Ophelia claps her hands. Alright, now, to start again. Emmeline groans before heading to the far wall and straightening her back. She takes a deep breath, puts a book on her head, and begins to walk again. The book falls from her head on her third step. She sighs, moves back, and starts the process again. Neither of us break Emmeline's concentration by speaking. We stand idly by and watch as she tries time and time again. I'm surprised when Ophelia leans toward me and begins to whisper. Diana, I've been meaning to say this before, but I'm grateful that you're friends with my daughter. Ah! What? I looked at Ophelia's smiling face with surprise. I never agreed to be her friend. You're not against the princess making friends with her servants? Why would I be? I actually wish more of the staff here wouldn't be so uptight, since I would love for Emmeline to be on good terms with the people who serve her. Besides, social status is never an obstacle to friendship. Ah, what? I didn't do that. I must have been accidentally hitting the right mouse button. Ophelia shifts her gaze back to Emmeline, who is now picking up the book that has once again fallen from her head. Thanks, Mac. You're the best. No matter your occupation or status, a friend is always a friend. You've given Emmeline the courage she needs to face the many challenges she has ahead of her. In a way, you're like family, since you're always around us. Like family? Come what may, both family and friends are there for you and will accept you for who you are. Even before I was cursed, Emmeline was always trying to be my friend. That means she knew all along who my mother was and still wanted to be my friend. The thought makes me remember what Parfait told me about Mother threatening to kill Ophelia if the king did not marry her. I turned to Ophelia, curious. Your Majesty, may I ask what you know about the late Queen's rule? So that means Ophelia can be your mum. Ophelia looks at me quizzically, so I quickly add a thoughtless lie. I was not in NGL and have only heard stories. I just thought it was so hard to believe, what with how peaceful things are in the palace right now. The kingdom was a dark place before then. People lived in fear under her rule. The king had no real power over NGL. The witches had free reign over the kingdom. They cast the fairy tale curse incessantly and on a whim. We barely left our houses in fear of becoming cursed. Mother's reign was that terrible? The king still blames himself for the darkness that befell NGL during that time. This is why he works day in and out to stabilize the country and to put smiles on everyone's faces. Okay, hold on, I gotta shift positions. This is not... The way I have to hold my hands to push the buttons is not comfortable. There we go. I remember long ago how he told me one of the reasons he would always continue to work hard for the kingdom was because he wanted to make a brighter tomorrow for his children. Ophelia looks confused for a few moments, then brushes off the awkwardness with a small chuckle. Oh my god. She knows. He helps the family in his own way. Okay, I need to move this too. Help, I didn't plan my stream setup very well today. Alright, there we go. Let's get that out of the way. Okay. So it's not like timelines are converging? Is it possible that he said that with me in mind? And Ophelia's slip up? But then maybe he was always referring to Emmeline and Rod. The kingdom's come a long way since then, hasn't it? There's still witches here and there, but most of them don't bother others. I pray that the peace we are experiencing right now will last. I see. Thank you for telling me. It's a bit of a dreary topic, but I'm happy to have helped. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to call on me. She's so nice! I know it may not be traditional protocol for a queen, but then I do not consider myself a typical queen. I try my best to listen to everyone here, regardless of what their title or name may be. I can only nod at her response. Princess or maid, the way Ophelia has treated me never changed. She's always treated me with kindness, regardless of who I am. I never saw it before because I was always so distant from everyone, but now I see that Ophelia treats everyone here with kindness, regardless of social status. I was always frustrated by the servants when they compared Ophelia to Mother, saying she was superior. But now, I think I understand why they would make such comparisons. Aw man, we're learning so much. Where is my boy? We have not seen him and we've been going for like 15 minutes. Emmeline dismisses me after my lessons, and I begin to head immediately back to my room. I've just turned a corner when I notice Sir Alcester standing before me, scowling. Oh yes, angry man. Watch where you're going, child. I quickly avert my gaze, not wanting a confrontation. He always looks at me so strangely, almost like he can see into my mind. Or is trying to. Severe rod withdrawal. Or SRW. My apologies, Sir Alcester. Sir Alcester nods his head at me stiffly before walking off. Of Pretty Boy Rod and Best Boy Sebby, featuring in-game Diana. I would like that. I want him to come back. You are pardoned, princess. Oh, shit. Wait, did we know that he knew before? I don't know that we know that he knew before. So now, super sketchy guy. What's his face? Other sir. That's not that guy, but the guy that we think looks super evil. That guy knows, and this guy knows for sure too. So that's interesting. I turn to stare after him, but he's already turned the corner. So does that mean he's been cursed, maybe? That's the only way you can know, right? My blood becomes cold. Was that just a slip of the tongue? But how else could he know that I'm the princess? Is it possible that he's cursed? No, somehow that doesn't- oh, or if you're a witch, duh. Can there be boy witches? Is that a thing? I don't know if we made that clear yet. No, somehow that does not seem right, but if he does not have the fairy tale curse... Could he be that witch that Delora warned me about? What reason would he have for oh, so yes, we can't have boy witches. They never said they can't. I'm just saying we hadn't seen any yet. What reason would he have for unveiling his identity then? Unless he just wants to intimidate me further. It occurs to me that Fritz still remembers who I am. It just suddenly occurred to me. Did he tell his father about me? No. I trust Fritz. He's a cool dude. Now I'm even more confused about whom I should trust. Oh, babe! What's going on? Haven't seen you in forever. Diana? I jump when I hear Rod call me. His expression slowly creases with something that looks like worry. You're pale. Did something happen? Well, I mean... Okay, well, I'm just gonna save over this one then. This is gonna be this is our good file. I mean... I think I should tell him. Like, I see no reason why I shouldn't tell him. I don't see any reason for him not to believe me. Sir Alcester knows that I'm the princess. Do you think he's the witch Delora was talking about? I whisper the words to him and he responds by raising his eyebrows, looking surprised. What makes you say that? This isn't just because of the standoffish way he acts, is it? No! You don't believe me. Oh my god, he actually doesn't believe me. What a dick. Rod sighs. I never said that I didn't. Oh, okay, never mind. We're good. It's just that we can't blindly accuse anyone without any real proof. Rod stares at me for a few moments, then closes his eyes, his eyebrows slightly furrowed with the thought. Sir Fitzgerald also remembers who you are. Okay, this has to be the same thing, though, because otherwise we wouldn't have this conversation. I do not want to be so suspicious of Fritz, but I don't think blindly trusting him would be right either. This is stupid. It's the other choice. Thank you. Come on, why am I not supposed to tell him? We should have a honest and open relationship. Nothing. I doubt he'd make it. I did the same thing. I doubt he'd make any effort to trust what I have to say. He's always skeptical of me. This is so rude. Rod furrows his brows at me. You expect me to believe that? I'm not even sure that I'm right. I'm not going to accuse anyone without any proof. I wasn't going to accuse him. I was just going to, like, I wasn't expecting us to make that jump. I was just going to say, hey, Sir Alcester just called me princess. Like, just so we're cool. Like, we're on the same page here. I just want to let you know, not saying that we're going to accuse him, but, like, just so we're clear. But apparently, the game doesn't want me to do that. If you want this partnership to work, you should learn to trust me. Do you even trust me? I mean, Devil Kitty, I'm also like that. If it's like, if it was just like, if it wasn't something like this, I feel like this is kind of important. Like, especially because we both know what's up. Like, if it was like, he wasn't involved in the whole thing, and like, if he didn't know about the witch plot in the palace, then I wouldn't tell him. But because he does, I felt safe to do so, and the game betrayed me. I don't need to like someone in order to trust them. So, are you going to tell me or not? All I can say for now is that we need to be careful around Sir Alcester. He knows what— See? Okay, this is what I thought it meant by me telling him. This is what I wanted to say. Rod stares at me for a few moments before finally nodding. Whatever you say. That didn't get me one either. Are you sure, Mac, that that's right? Anyway, I must leave now. I have a dance to practice for. Dance? But you already know how to dance. What do you have left to practice? Rod does not answer and only walks away. I decide to follow after him. It's still going? Oh. Why did you follow me? I shrug. Wanted to see you practice. Oh, damn. Girl, being forward. To be honest, I want to see him dance. I already know that Emmeline is very clumsy when it comes to dancing, but outside of the one practice with Emmeline, I've never seen Rod dance. Emmeline always gloats on his behalf, but I have yet to witness Rod's supposed talent with my own eyes. Our dance together was so short, I barely had any time to judge him. And I am good at that. Judging people, I mean. I do not practice with an audience. Why? It's my preference. Rod's easily embarrassed. Rod groans and pinches one of Sebby's cheeks, glowering. Sorry. Rod reluctantly releases the bunny with a sigh. I noticed you've been talking more lately, Sebby. Oh, that's because Rod here has been saying things that contradict with what he thinks or feels. Sebby makes a sound of defeat as Rod once again pinches one of his cheeks. Rod stares at me with wide eyes and I stare back, beginning to panic. Big mood right here. What is wrong? You smiled again. I put a hand to my mouth, flushing. Smiling again? I never even noticed. God, I hate smiling. It's a pretty smile, princess. Right, Rod? Oh my god, look at him blush! Rod quickly turns away, cheeks slightly pink. So would none of this happen if you said the other thing? That's crazy. I need to practice now, so I would appreciate you leaving. You did not even command me to leave. What a surprise. Emmeline said you were a really good dancer. I wanted to see it with my own eyes. I'm dumb, you're right before. Ah! Devil Kitty also corroborated you, so that's weird. Well, odd, because I liked that one better. It's literally the same choice later on. Oh, that's okay. No biggie. No, it's cool. Honestly, I liked the awkwardly tell him option better. These timelines are getting weird. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. It's cool. Don't worry about it. No worries. Okay, you need to stay vigilant. If anything happens, you can come talk to me about it. You're worried about me? Rod averts his gaze from me. There it is. There it is. Of course I am. Wow, you're actually being honest. What? Rod glares at Sebby before pinching his cheek. Anyway, I must leave now. I have a dance to practice for. Okay, now we can, like... I'm gonna just... I don't want to... I'm afraid of using the skip page art until I know that I've seen everything. Okay. I also forget what the prompt was, so... Smile again. Is it leave or don't leave? I'm sure that I'm a better dancer than you. Honestly, that's what I would say, but I'm just gonna keep this as my file. Okay. I mean, this is really savage. Like, I'm not sure that that's what we should go for here, so I think we should just say, like, I'm not here to judge you. Like, live your best life. Dan just schools him in dancing. I think this is better. Well, that's a good point. Like, it depends on the tone that you say the second thing in, okay? If it's obviously a joke, then you say it, but I'm mostly curious. Curious. I wanted to know how good you really were. Then yes, you are judging me. I hold out my hand and he stares like I'm taking it back. Okay, then it's gotta be the other one. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Cause that I feel like that didn't go well. Think like Rod. The scowl on Rod's face deepens. I almost smirk. Maybe he's reluctant to show me, but Rod's also full of pride. He's more likely to show me if I pose a challenge. Alright, listen, I didn't want to be shitty about it, but I guess that's what we're doing. You didn't even answer the question. And, are you underestimating my dancing? The others may have forgotten, but you still remember, do not. I am a princess, and was taught by the kingdom's best instructor. I love how this is how I would act while dating someone, second guessing everything. Let me tell you, actually dating someone, it's still the exact same thing. I say the words with pride, and Rod must think that's hot. And I notice Rod's lips twitch in response. It actually makes me feel accomplished to get under Rod's skin when he's usually the one getting under mine. Having the best instructor does not automatically make you the best dancer. I'm pretty confident with my own skills. Say what you want, but I will refuse to believe you without any proof. I still say that I'm a better dancer than you are. Finally, a worthy opponent. Ah! Rod steps forward and pulls me suddenly into his arms, taking me by surprise. He looks at me, clearly determined. Oh. That's hot. Fine then, you'll have your proof. I'll make you swallow those words with this dance. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is what we're here for. Yep. We shall see. Rod starts leading the dance. He glides us to the imaginary rhythm of a waltz. Even without the music, I'm able to count the steps in my head as I follow his lead. We'll swallow more than just words. No! No! This is not dirty yet. This is different from that short dance we showed Emmeline. Rod's movements are graceful, his touch gentle as he leads me into an underarm twirl. Oh my god. Wait, isn't it the same? I don't know, it's still hot. When I come to face him once again, I notice the gentle way he stares at me. The usual hardness of his expression is gone, melted into something relaxed. Hi, Joe. I find myself staring back at him, looking into his eyes. Perhaps Rod does have some gentleness to him. Our gaze does not break as he twirls me. Look at little Sebby. I know he's really cute. You have beautiful eyes. Thank you. Rod's eyes widen as soon as mine do. He abruptly lets go of my hands and steps back. Oh my god, but he actually said it and not Sebby. That's like a big step forward. I can only stare at him, my face warm. It wasn't me this time. I just said that, Sebby. Thank you. That was more than just a thought, I swear. Haha. I've got you now. Rod says nothing, though his cheeks continue to darken with embarrassment. Oh my. Rod and I turn to look at Emmeline, who's hovering by the door. Oh shit. Excuse me. Rod quickly walks through the doorway and out into the hallway, leaving Emmeline and I alone in the room. What just happened? That was a wonderful dance, Diana. Hey girl, listen. You want a wingman with me? Like, you want to be my wingman with your brother? You were watching? No witnesses! Now we can date her. I only just saw the last few minutes, but, you know, the two of you really did look like a couple. It was sweet. A couple? Oh, you're blushing! I put a hand to my cheek and turn away with a scowl. I am not. Besides, whatever just happened was embarrassing. A couple of what? Do you like Rod? I stare at her. I do not. Also, you're forgetting that I'm a maid who could not be with the prince even if I wanted to. He's grumpy and cold. I hate him. And even though we are not blood related, he is still my stepbrother. If only Emmeline realized how crazy her words were in light of the truth. Wouldn't be the first time I've dated a stepbrother in a game. Fire Emblem, looking at you. Emmeline suddenly looks starry-eyed as she giggles at me. Love knows no boundaries, dear Diana. Besides, he seems to like you. Baka! Your brother hates me. Rod, can be a contradiction sometimes. Well, lucky for you. I love contradictions. Sometimes he says the opposite of what he feels. It's only when you get to know him as well as I do, that you realize what his truths are. Cannot help but think of Sebby, who always speaks Rod's thoughts aloud when they're contradictory. He was always so mean to Viorica when we were young. He'd always bully her for being a crybaby, even though he cried far more often. Emmeline knows a few distinct and very important boundaries. Rod could be a sword and a shield. But then I realized that he treated her more special than he did anyone else. Back then I knew that he liked her. I thought that one day the two of them might even grow to love each other, but... Emmeline lets out a long sigh as she directs her attention out the window. Oh, finally, the tea! His attitude towards her has changed ever since he was cursed. Then they grew even more distant when Viorica found a lover. Is that the reason why you've been going to the toy shop with Prince Rod? Because you want to bring them back together? So you're cock-blocking me is what I'm hearing. Actually, you're not wingman. You're cock-blocking. Emmeline, this sounds like a love boundary. Emmeline nods. The three of us were best friends. The Three Musketeers. It's not the same without Rod. I keep on asking him what's wrong, but he refuses to tell me. He's always been stubborn, but it's not like him to keep secrets. It's really frustrating because I have no idea what I should do to help him. Just drop in the truth. I thought he was just being stubborn with me, but apparently no amount of prodding, even from his own family, will make him budge. Why is he being so difficult? I hope you do not mind me asking, but what do you know about his curse? Emmeline stares at me for a few moments before nodding. Wow, that's very direct. I don't know if that was cool. You're my friend, Diana, and I know that I can confide in you. I know that sometimes I'm not trusting enough, but I think Emmeline is still far too trusting. We only know that he has the mermaid's curse. I knew it! Wait, did I ever say that on stream? Because I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Maybe that was off-stream theorizing, but... I've read this story so many times, hoping I can figure out some way to break his curse. I think back and realized I actually had read the beginning of The Little Mermaid a long time ago. You didn't? Okay, well, I totally did think about it. I hope you do not mind me asking, but can you reveal the intimate details of your brother's life that he would rather keep secret? But I did not have the chance to finish it because I was caught by Mother. The Little Mermaid is about a mermaid who trades her voice for legs, right? Yes, she does it so she can be with her prince. Rod's voice was taken away, but I'm sure that he was given something in exchange. I've heard that the curses are derived from the original tales, but they're twisted in some way to fit the format of a curse. I nod slowly, thoughtful. I have a strong feeling that Rod's curse is related to Viorica, but I cannot draw the connection. But still, Viorica might be the key to understanding his curse. If Rod will not divulge anything, the next best chance we have of understanding his curse might be going through Viorica. Seems like a fair trade. Viorica's happiness? That's what I was thinking, maybe. But, like, he clearly liked her. So, like, ideally, I guess because it's twisted to format a curse, he thought that he was gonna get to be with her, but then actually a mysterious suitor arrives out of nowhere and just sweeps her off her feet, maybe? I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess. We need to ruin her happiness! I feel like the exchange involves something physical to match the story. Well, maybe it does. We don't know yet. Today's the first day I'm leaving the palace on a day off. Usually I choose to stay inside. Whereas the other servants always leave to go home. I never see any reason to leave since this has always been my home. The Marchant has never been home. Besides, it's not as if I wanted to return. Not after that conversation we all shared last time. Thus, I've spent most of my days asking questions about Mother's reign, acquiring when and where I can. The opinions do not surprise me. I was so scared of her. One wrong move and she'd have you thrown in prison. The townsfolk would always wait for her to pass by before leaving their houses. She was a tyrant. The kingdom is a better place now that she's gone. What if Rod just actually used to be a fish? There's no reason for them to lie to me. The more I hear, the more my old life makes sense to me. I now know why the king never seemed to love Mother and why the people hated her. And the reason people looked at me with such fear. However, it has been months since I've been glared at in public. That's a plus. If there's one good thing that this curse did for me, is that it allows me to travel around town without being noticed. As Viorica's shop comes into view, my thoughts shift to the reason I've left the palace in the first place. Either that or we need to kill Ursula. No, it's like... Wait, seriously, how do you break the curse in The Little Mermaid? It's been a while since I've seen The Little Mermaid. Well, I mean, if we're talking about the actual story of The Little Mermaid, that gets super dark. Like, it's not the Disney movie. I think she dies in the end of the original story. So that's probably not, that doesn't bode well. Just saying. I don't remember exactly what happened, but, in the original story, but she definitely dies. I remember that. By turning into sea foam. Yes, that's right. That is right. If Rod will not tell me anything, I'll have to ask Viorka. She must be related in some way to his curse. I paused outside the door to the toy shop. With a deep breath, I pushed the door open. Hi, I'm here to talk to you about an intimate secret. Welcome. The moment she sees me, her expression becomes confused. Oh, you're the princess's maid. Diana, wasn't it? I nod at her. You've never come in here alone before. What can I help you with? I wanted to ask you something. Yeah, this is gonna be real awkward, so like, buckle up. It is about Prince Rod. Prince Rod? Did something happen to him? Is he okay? He is fine. She sighs with relief. Then what is it you would like to ask? So Viorka's Ursula, so we just kill her. Simple. We don't know that she's Ursula. I would assume the witch that cursed him would be Ursula, if anything. I just wanted to know if you knew anything about Prince Rod's sudden muteness. Viorka stares at me for a few moments before she shakes her head. I only know that it happened soon after I met my fiancé, Desimond. What reason do you have for asking? Wait, she has an entire toy tree for sale? I guess. Well, I try to think of a plausible explanation for this and I immediately consider Emmeline. Viorka's Emmeline's best friend. Surely she'd be willing to help if she knew I was doing this for Emmeline. Lie! Prince Rod has been very quiet recently. Princess Emmeline has been worried sick about him, but he refuses to say anything, even to her. I've been trying to gather information that might be helpful in discerning the cause. He trained his voice for everyone forgetting that his name is Rodert. I stare at her expectantly, hoping that my gaze holds nothing but determination. These are such interesting theories y'all have. Maybe Rod is actually just a third wheel and Viorka is Ariel? Maybe. Well, then she would have lost her voice. That's how that works, right? I don't know. I stare at her expectantly, hoping that my gaze holds nothing but determination instead of, you know, intimidation or something. Finally, Viorka smiles. She's lucky to have a dedicated friend like you. I am still not accustomed to the fact that Emmeline considers me a friend. Before she became the princess, I was her first confidant. We were like sisters. Therefore, I have to kill you because she can't have another friend. Well, they did say they twisted for suitability. That's true. Oh, that's true. Interesting. Maybe Rod just has a really, really bad cold. But now that she's living in the castle, we no longer have the luxury of spending so much time together. I worry about her constantly. Even around me, I'm always tempted to keep her problems to herself at first. She doesn't like to bother other people with them. It's hard not to agree. With the way Emmeline was always smiling before, I never thought she had any problems in her life. It was only recently that I discovered she was hiding all her loneliness and pain behind a smile. It's a relief that she's befriended someone who cares so much about her. I don't know if I can be much help, but I'll tell you what I know if it'll help Emmeline. Maybe this is all just a fevertree. To start with, I'm not exactly sure how everything changed, but it all happened so suddenly. All I know is that after the night I met Desimond, our relationship changed. At first he still smiled, but recently he's been avoiding me. What happened between the two of you the night you met your fiancé? Nothing. Rod and I did not meet on that day. Prince Rod wasn't there? No, but soon after what happened that night, Rod grew distant. Yeah, I'm gonna need to hear what happened that night. This is like detective work. Em and Viorka were in love and Rod traded his voice so they can forget that? Oh, yikes. What happened? It was a stormy night, and I was heading back home. I took the route by the riverbank because it was the shortest route, which just sounds like a bad idea in a storm, but okay. It was foolish of me. The road was slippery and full of mud. I lost my footing and fell into the water. The waves were strong, and I was certain I was going to drown. I don't remember what happened in the darkness of that water, only that when I woke up, my head was in Desimond's lap. That was the first time we met, but not the last. He carried me home, and he came by every day as I was recovering. Okay, new theory. I know it's just said by the rivers. This is probably wrong, but what if Desimond was a mermaid, and Rod traded his voice to give Desimond legs so that they could be together? That's stupid, but I don't know. We're all spitballing theories right now, so might as well add that to the pile. And then he came to visit even after I'd recovered. I tried not to get my hopes up too much, because what could this nobleman see in me, a mere commoner? But I still ended up falling in love with him. Adds theory to the pile. So like my third wheel theory. Yes, kind of like your third wheel theory. You have no idea how happy I was when he said he loved me too. It was a dream come true. Or maybe she died and he gave his voice so she could live? Oh my god. Of course, every girl dreams of marrying a prince. It was in all the fairy tales that I read as a child. None of that was at all related to Rod. How does this relate to his curse? You said your relationship with Prince Rod changed after that night. What happened? This is like a direct examination. Like, she's a witness right now. Viorica sighs. I told Em and Rod about Desmond soon after the incident. Em was happy that the two of us had fallen in love, but Rod... It's more of a request than a curse. That's true. That's a good point. Rod didn't say much of anything. That's when I noticed he started growing distant, and when I realized that he'd also lost his voice. He still won't tell me anything, but I figured that he was... Her voice fades, but I know she's referring to the curse. So Rod lost his voice shortly after Viorica met Desmond. I feel like I need to be, like, taking notes. The mermaid's curse must have something to do with the tale. The little mermaid traded her voice for legs so that she could be with her prince. But that night, the only person who found their prince charming was Viorica. Rod's curse must have something to do with Desmond and Viorica. He became distant with her after finding out about Desmond. Why? There will be a quiz later. Then there was this fact that he still spoke to Viorica, even if he was distant. It was only when he found out about their wedding that he became so cold. I frown as I try to organize my thoughts. How did it get to be this late? I'm so sorry, Diana, but I have to close the shop now. Sorry for the story. I know it has nothing to do with Rod, but it was after that incident that he began to act strangely. I don't think I was much help, but did he lose his voice before or after finding out about Desmond? We don't know. I don't think. I shake my head. You've told me what you could. Viorica walks me to the door. I really soon. Somewhere in that time frame, but I don't think they said for sure. We need to do a logic dive. Viorica walks me to the door, opening it so that both of us can step out onto the street together. And correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I don't think they actually confirmed that. So don't tell me if we don't know. I really hope they're able to help Emmeline and Rod. I hope so too. Did you see Ophelia the other day? I catch sight of two noblewomen sitting on a bench together, not too far away from the toy shop. Oh no, they talking shit. They are referring to Ophelia without her title. How disrespectful. Who would have thought that a peasant like her could almost look like royalty? But her dress. As the queen, she ought to be wearing silks rather than satin. I do not know why, but I bristle at their comments. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but the fact that they are speaking so bluntly in public means they have little worry of being overheard. I mean, look at your dress. Your dress is ugly as hell. It's not even form-fitting. Like, what is this? At least yours is cute and has some decoration. And you got a nice choker. You just have like a ribbon. What's wrong with you? That's free speech, man. I don't know if there's free speech here. I'm still not sure what the king saw in her. Well, you know what they say about ladies lacking natural beauty. Her talents must lie in other, more persuasive areas. She must be very persuasive indeed if the king saw it worthwhile to marry her. As the two women laugh, I feel something hot begin to burn in my stomach. Viorica takes in a sharp breath beside me. Since I became a maid in the palace, Ophelia has been nothing but kind to me, a mere servant. I love how the colors of the characters change in the dark. I was gonna say that, even on the like profile pictures over here, it's really cool. She has all the right to flaunt her status and title, yet she remains humble. I now know that this is why everyone at the palace loves her. Common women like her can only keep a man's attention for so long. I start walking towards them without thinking. Ooh, spooky, Double Kitty. Dana, I wouldn't. You have no right to say those things about the queen. The two women are clearly surprised at my interruption. Both of them glare at me. And you have no right to eavesdrop on us. Eavesdropping? Anyone could have hurt you. Their mouths fall open. One of the women look at me for... One of the women looks at me for a long time, then sneers suddenly as if something has occurred to her. I thought you looked familiar. You're the crown princess's personal maid. I see you always following her around when she's in town. Slap them. This is none of your business, girl. Why do you care so much for our opinions? These people about to press charges. Perhaps it's because the girl idolizes the queen, thinks she might also go from rags to riches. What? Oh, you do have a point. They stand and advance toward me. Do you want the prince for yourself, girl? If a commoner can become the queen, it's not too difficult to imagine yourself as a princess, is it? How foolish. You're better off dreaming smaller dreams, girl. They laugh, and the irritation in my chest blazes into full-on anger. Slap them! Fight! Fight them! Is this what Ophelia has been dealing with for the past year? She's being treated so cruelly when she's done nothing but love the king. And I also ridiculed her just like this. I force myself to look at the cruel women as I move my hand to the pendant hanging around my neck. I was just as cruel as them. Fight! 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 I barely feel Viorica's hand as she rests against my shoulder. Diana, let it go. Her Majesty wouldn't want you to do this. But I cannot just let these two women talk about Ophelia like this. I pull away from Viorica and stand firm. The queen has a good heart. She's far more noble than either of you could ever hope to be. I think back on the times I was cruel to her. Ophelia could have easily reprimanded me for my behavior. She had that right as my stepmother, yet she's been nothing but kind to me. Ophelia never got angry at me, even despite my treatment towards her and her family. She's always treated the others with kindness, even when they're cruel to her. Judging from the bitterness in your accusations, it seems you're jealous of her. How pathetic. The other woman marches toward- oh, of course this ugly dressed woman. Marches toward me and my free hand instinctively moves to hold her hand just before her palm reaches my cheek. Haha! I will not tolerate any insults towards the queen. A soft light emanates from the pendant and I can only stare in shock. Now there's some spell tea. I got another good deed? By defending Ophelia? The woman snatches her hand away. How dare a peasant like you talk that way to us? Have you no manners? I could ask you the same. What happened to yours? How dare you? Don't you know who we are, girl? I will see you pay for your impertinence. Our words have far more weight than yours ever will. I will go to the king myself to tell him about how rude you were. I can pass on that message myself. Oh, shoot! Hey, boy, how's it going? I got reflexes. I turn and see Rod walking towards us, his expression cold. The two noblewomen hastily curtsy. Lawrence would be disgusted with them. Not voice! Your Highness. The noblewomen turn pale as Rod's eyes fall on them. Actually, we have an important dinner engagement. Yes, we do. The two noblewomen curtsy before quickly departing. What are you doing here without your guards? What trouble have you gotten yourself into now? Oh, so now we don't tell him, is what you guys are saying. I'm gonna say it, just in case, but I think, now we don't tell him. Okay, wait. Now you don't say. Okay, this I would actually not say. I get it. Okay. Hang on, sorry. He literally heard the whole thing. I don't think he did. I don't think he heard the first part. Okay. Time-sensitive text. Okay. Don't tell him. It's nothing. If you refuse to tell me what happened, I'll have to assume that the noblewomen are telling the truth about you. No, you won't. Diana has done nothing wrong. Oh, thanks, girl. In fact, I think Diana only did what you or Emmeline would have done had you heard the awful things those women were saying about your mother. What? She stood up for the queen when she didn't have to. Then why didn't you just say so? Would you have believed me? Probably not. Rod drops his gaze from mine. You never gave me a chance to believe you, did you? See, this is awkward now. He would have believed me? How am I to know that? He didn't believe me last time. Rod's like a walking contradiction. Rod glances up again, this time to look at Viorica. Really? Wait, that was it? Are you sure? We shouldn't keep you from returning home, Viorica. I'll take Diana back to the palace. Viorica's eyes narrow, and she looks ready to say something, but Rod has already reached out for my hand to pull me along behind him. Are you sure? You crazy sure? This seems like a long time. When we're out of sight of Viorica's shop, Rod stops, releasing my hand as he turns to face me. Do you really think I would refuse to believe you if you told me the truth? You never liked me. You have no reason to believe me. Rod sighs, running a hand through his hair. Told you that I would help you break your curse, right? That offer alone should be enough for you to know that I... Ah! Rod turns away, suddenly looking embarrassed. There we go! That I don't dislike you anymore! Yes! That's a step up. Joe, how dare you? Shut up. You're expecting me to just assume that. How would I know unless you made that absolutely clear? Well, I'm making it clear now. I understand. Anyway, thank you for standing up for my mother. Seems you don't require my assistance in breaking your curse after all. He gestures to my necklace. Congratulations on your second good deed, Diana. Suddenly tongue-tied, I find myself looking everywhere but at Rod. When I've once again gathered my senses, I turn to the road. My eyes narrow as I recognize the path we're on. This is not the way back to the palace. Oh my god, he smiles. We're now mutual! No, it isn't. We're going to the Marchen. Why? Because I was on my way there before I was forced to take a detour because someone was drawing attention to herself. What? But Rod ignores me and we walk the rest of the way to the Marchen in silence. Rude. Waltz is the only person in the reception room when we enter. Prince Rod. Princess? It's a little late for the two of you to be here. I meant to be here earlier. Is Lady Parfait here? Waltz nods. I'll go get her. Wait here. Waltz! As soon as Waltz leaves us alone, Rod turns to me, his expression rigid. Rod steps closer and grabs my shoulders. Ooh! Ah! Oh my god. Oh, he's angry though. This is not hot. Not hot. I wasn't able to say so earlier because we were out in public, but you should know just how much danger you're in now, and yet you thought it was okay to go around on your own. It's my day off today. It's not unreasonable for me to want time for myself. Time to yourself? Don't you understand the meaning of be careful? Why would you do something so foolish as going out into the town alone? I cannot help but bristle at his tone. Why are you so angry? Because you're... Rod trails off and looks away. It's your family. Ah! Don't family zone me, please. So you're finally acknowledging me as family. Can we not, though? Can we just take a step back? I notice his cheeks turn. Even Sebi looks angry. He does look angry. I notice his cheeks turning red. To be honest, you're less of a family member and more just important. Okay, there we go. I like that. Let's stick with that. Important. Because of all that you do for Emmeline. Yeah, that's it. Sure. You're important to my sister. He looks uncomfortable as he says the words, and I cannot help but marvel at his embarrassment. Why is he so embarrassed? Rod changes the topic as he turns away from me. Why were you with Viorica? I can only think of one reason you'd speak to her. My curse. You thought you'd find out about my curse through her. I shrug. I can only assume that your curse has something to do with Viorica. I look up when Rod says something, then stare at the curious sight before me. He's taken Sebi off his shoulder and is holding the doll in his hands away from his face. The two seem to be engaged in some silent conversation. Then gently, Sebi speaks words I can hear. This is the right thing to do. You need to let her help you, Rod. Oh my god, is he gonna tell me? Is he gonna tell me? Everyone spit out your theories one last time. Rod bites down on his lower lip before briefly closing his eyes. Eventually he returns Sebi to his usual spot on his shoulder and turns to me. Fine, you're stubborn and you're not gonna quit investigating unless I tell you, are you? Absolutely not. You're right. Viorica is the reason I was cursed. Third wheel. Rod sits down on the settee and lets out a heavy sigh. His eyes are far away as he speaks to me. I was in love with Viorica, but I wasn't brave enough to tell her. I just followed her around like some kind of puppy. One day Viorica hadn't come home and it was raining very heavily, so I went out to look for her. I found her walking along the bank of the river. I called out to her to tell her to be careful, but I don't think she ever heard me. She slipped and... Rod swallows. He clenches one of his hands into a fist. Did they kiss yet? No, not yet. She fell into the river. I dived in after her. I somehow managed to get both of us onto the riverbank, but it didn't look like Viorica was breathing. I didn't know what to do. I started panicking. I ran off to try and find help, but I couldn't find anyone in the storm. When I returned, she was gone. I rushed to her house and a doctor was already there, tending to her, along with... Desmond. Rod's gaze is vacant as he nods. When Viorica began to fall in love with Desmond, I felt helpless. Did you not tell her that you were the one who saved her? Why would I? Viorica was so happy believing that she and Desmond were fated to be together. I couldn't do that to her. But surely if you told her... Rod interrupts me. I want the people I love to be happy. Oh, you're so good. I don't care if their happiness causes me pain. I'd rather bear that alone instead of bringing down those around me. Credit stealer. My chest aches as I watch Rod's face. Yeah, Desmond apparently just took credit for saving her. Rude. I never would have guessed that Rod would be so selfless. But that didn't stop me from thinking I could still make her love me instead. I decided to become what I thought Viorica wanted most, the Prince Charming of the fairy tale she so adored. And so I asked a witch to turn me into one. She stole my voice in exchange. Only then did I realize she'd inflicted the fairy tale curse upon me, the mermaid's curse. The next day, the king turned up at our house proclaiming he'd been looking for my mother for years and that he'd never stopped loving her. That's all fake?! Oh my god. When the king married my mother, I became a prince. It was just like the witch promised. Oh no, are you serious? That's bullshit. All this time. He still loved her? We don't. But it didn't matter. I didn't see it when I made the deal with the witch, but I couldn't be blind to it forever. Desmond and Viorica really do love each other. They make each other happy. Nothing I can do will ever change that. Rod, Prince Rod? Oh. Parfait pauses in her tracks when she sees me. Have I interrupted something? No. Rod moves over to Parfait, but he stops to glance back at me. I won't be long. Parfait looks at Rod and then at me, her face puzzled, but she does not say a word as Rod and her leave the room. So we got cursed and decided afterwards he didn't want it. Oh my god, drama. This is... So, like... Well, he didn't tell us how to break his curse, which is arguably the most important part, so that sucks. But whatever. I'd not get the chance to discuss Rod's curse with him later that night, nor did I get the chance to speak with Parfait and Delora about my suspicions of Sir Alcester. Welcome to the phenomena! Days go by, but I still find myself overwhelmed by preparations for the ball. Things become more frantic every day, making it difficult for me to have any time to speak with anyone. Eventually, I decide to write a letter containing my suspicions of Sir Alcester. I tell Parfait and Delora that I believe he might be the witch they're looking for. That is an incredibly stupid plan. I'm Cinderella, following. I also add that I believe Fritz might somehow be involved, though my suspicions are not as well-founded with him. To make matters worse, he went and disappeared. I've not heard anyone mention his name here for a very long time. Ow! And I run into him immediately. I am forcefully pulled from my thoughts when I collide with someone. The linens I'd been holding scatter all over the floor. Excuse me, I did not... I look up and my voice trails off when I see who I bumped into. Oh shit, what's up, boy? Lost in your thoughts. Sir Mithras looks at me, something veiled in his smiling eyes. I suppose those are the linens the queen asked for. Yes, please excuse me. I begin gathering up the linens, but as I reach out for one, Sir Mithras picks it up first. Allow me to help you. I'll be fine. But this was partially my fault. Let me assist you. I bite my lip and do not protest as Sir Mithras helps me gather the rest of the linens. I'm contemplating my schedule for the rest of the day when I realize that Sir Mithras has been talking. I don't suppose you have any idea on who that maid is? Maid? There's a cold amusement in Sir Mithras' gaze. Surely you've heard the rumor of the young prince having been seen with a royal maid somewhere around town? Rumor has it that Prince Rod has found love among the common folk, much like his royal stepfather has. Rod with a maid? As far as I'm aware, the only maid he's been out in town with has been... I freeze as Sir Mithras straightens, patting down his clothes for dust before holding out some of the linens to me. If it's true, I wish him the best, though I wish he would be more discreet about it. A royal scandal is the last thing we need right now. I shakily take the linens from Sir Mithras as he inclines his head to me. Rude, alright. I mean, he was a commoner like a month ago. Have a good day, Diana. I walked to the dining hall in a haze, my mind whirling with the implication of what Sir Mithras has just said. I'm sure it was those noble women who spread the rumor. Frickin' rude. Diana, thank you for bringing these to me. Just leave them on the table. I curtsy after placing the linens down as commanded. If that is all. Diana. I straighten at the tone of Ophelia's voice. When I look up, I see that her expression is carefully still. I'm about to ask you something that you might not want to answer, but I very much hope you will. I will answer if I can. Good. Ophelia sighs as she sits down on one of the dining table chairs and folds her hands on her lap. Oh god, what is she gonna ask me right now? I hate when people preface their questions that way. I've been trying to ignore it since palace gossip is mostly false, but I can't help my curiosity. Will you marry my son, Rod? Yes. I wanted to ask about your relationship with my son. What? I understand you and Rod were out together in town a few days ago. Oh no. Do you want to tell me what happened? Not really. Like, I mean, I should, cause she's like cool. So like my gut says to yeah, do it. But like also, I was kind of defending her and that may come out and then like that might get into a whole other terrible situation. My gut says explain it, so I'm gonna do that first. If you can answer the question, technically you can. If Ophelia is asking me about these rumors, then I can only imagine what sort of story these women made up. Prince Rod was just on his way somewhere when he chanced upon me. When he saw that I was in trouble with two noble women, he stopped to intervene. That's all. Rod said the same thing. Alright, cool. Glad we, you know, made it work and stuff. Then why did you ask me, Your Majesty? To see what you thought about the situation. Alibi! I don't think anyone should get a say in what your relationship with Rod is. My relationship with Rod? Consent! I like you, Diana, and I'm certain that you're good for Rod. If I had my way, I would let him court you. Yes! Alright, we got approval from one parent. What? I feel heat in my cheeks as I trip over my words. The prince and I are not in a relationship. A member of the royal family cannot end up with a servant. Everyone ships it. Where there's love, there's hope. Social status shouldn't stop you from being happy, Diana. Wait, but she's not going to. Then what about the fact that I'm Rod's stepsister? No one knows that right now. Also, it's not a problem. I bite down on that statement fiercely. I already know what role I'm playing here, and I cannot break it. Ophelia looks at me with a complicated expression before she sighs. I will not push you on this any further. But be careful, Diana. Your closeness with my son and daughter has not gone unnoticed. I mean, step isn't blood, isn't entirely bad. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but like, it's not technically not allowed. I do not believe in limiting relation. Camilla would like to disagree with the family problem. Many people would like to disagree with the family problem. I do not believe in limiting relationships because of one's status, but I understand. I curtsy as I move towards the dining hall's entrance. What did Ophelia mean by that closeness is not going unnoticed? Bates is whack. It is. Later that day, as I'm waiting outside the throne room for Emmeline to finish one of her classes, two maids walk toward me and stop in front of me. Diana, isn't it? What is it? I've already finished all my tasks for the day. Oh, I'm sure you have. Probably rushed through all of them so that you could hang out around the prince and princess tonight. The head housekeeper has been giving you a lighter load so you can afford the time to play around, Man, the A and B surnames are prolific. Great, now everyone hates us. I blink at them, confused. I have no idea what you're talking about. Don't play dumb. All the servants know what you've been doing. Just because you're Princess Emmeline's personal maid doesn't make you better than the rest of us. Dang it, these people with no eyes suck. I'd be careful not to get too big for your boots, Diana. I definitely thought that said boobs. I really thought it did. Are you threatening me? What if we are? Then I'd be very disappointed in you. Oh! My girl! What's going on? Not even wearing boots. Princess Emmeline. Emmeline moves to stand beside me, a disapproving expression on her face. I did not expect such petty cruelty from the two of you. Apparently maids that I'm supposed to know. If you're threatening me, that's illegal. You should be ashamed of yourselves. Your Highness. You really do have a talent for getting yourself into trouble. This was not my fault. This one, absolutely not my fault. Rod, this is so awkward, RN. Rod pauses briefly, his eyes meeting mine for a second before he looks at the maids. Don't you have better things to do than bully my sister's maid? If anything, it's your fault, Rodder. Call out our stand, Emily. We apologize, Your Highness. We'll be on our way. The two maids run off. Emmeline turns to look at me. Are you okay? So, Rod, did you know your mom ships us? Also your sister? Basically everyone. And I haven't talked to Dad yet, but about to answer when I notice that Rod is abruptly walking away from us. I frown at his back. He had only just started being nice to me, and now he's back to acting as if I do not exist. What did I do? Emmeline puts her hands on my back and gently pushes me forward. You wanted to ask him something, right? I could see it in your eyes. Emmeline smiles as she pushes the door to the throne room open. I have a few more questions to ask my teacher. I'll be a while. But everyone with a face wants us to date. But she disappears into the throne room before I can finish. I glance down the hallway. Rod just disappeared down and then back at the throne room. My thoughts whirl together in a vague mess until I make my decision. Wait! The sound of my approaching footsteps, Rod turns and looks at me. He scowls but does not say anything. I mean, should I sass him? Does that make us a good or a bad influence? I think we're a good influence on her. If only we could get her to be a little bit less trusting, I think it would be good. I mean, so far, the sass has been working. Every time that I think no sass will work, it's not right. To sass or not to sass? That is the question. I mean, nothing is sometimes better said. You're right. I'm gonna say nothing first. I feel abruptly tongue-tied when I come to face with him. It's likely that my telling him off will result in some sort of altercation, and that would not be good. What? I have better things to do than be gaped at. Rod turns away from me. I'm left to stare dumbly after him. What's wrong with him? Normally he's not so afraid to speak his mind. I should have went with my inner sass, huh? Should I have told him off? I probably should have. Frown as I feel a dull ache throbbing somewhere deep in my chest. Oh, now I'm sad. Yeah, I definitely should have sassed him. I should have gone with my gut. Dang it, following. And rebellious. Both of you said no sass this time. I should have done the sass. Always sass. Tell him off. The words spill out of me before I can even think on them. What have I done now to make you angry with me? But being nice. No, he doesn't like nice. He likes sass. Nothing. He turns away and I glare as I follow closely behind him. You expect me to believe that? You can at least look at me when I'm talking to you. Rod likes the sass. It turns him on. Probably. I reach out a hand to his elbow and pull him back so that he's facing me. Oh, shoot, girl. Rod. The words die in my throat when I see the expression on his face. Ah! His face is red and he refuses to look me in the eye. My surprise causes me to release him. Rod quickly turns around and begins to walk away. I'm left to stare dumbly after him. What is wrong with him? Normally he's not so afraid to speak his mind. Let's get physical. No! So always sass. Yes, always sass. We've learned. I frown as I feel a dull ache throbbing somewhere deep in my chest. What is this? Why do I feel so sad? Normally Rod's distance does not make me feel like this. And yet now, am I really so sad that he does not want to speak with me? I shake my head and take a deep breath to still my mind. Why do I feel these emotions? It's better not to think about it. No emotions. Oh my god, it's time for the ball. Oh, these chapters are getting long. I don't know if my voice will last through the end, guys. It's the day of the ball, and I'm waiting for Emily to finish her last dance rehearsal. The lesson was over an hour ago, but Emily remains here to continue practicing the steps. Meanwhile, I'm preoccupied with thoughts of Rod's curse. I cannot believe that Rod traded his voice for a title, so the reason the king was able to find Ophelia was because of Rod. So we're saying that he did love her the whole time, but he was only able to find her because the curse went into effect? That's what I'm saying. I'm going with that. It's a little difficult to wrap my head around the implications, but one thing bothers me. Rod told me why he has the curse, but he gave no explanation as to how to break it. Maybe we need to find Rod's brother, Todd. How did it go in the original fairy tale? Well, she dies. Emmeline finishes up the last steps of her routine before walking over to me. I hand her the glass of water I was holding for her. Thank you, Diana. Emmeline must notice my curiosity because she stops to look at me quizzically. Something the matter? I read a little bit of that fairy tale, but never finished it. Can you tell me the whole story of the Little Mermaid? The Little Mermaid? Emmeline takes a seat on one of the chairs bordering the throne room and gestures for me to take the one opposite her. Telling a fairy tale is always a good way to wind down. Once upon a time, there was a mermaid that fell in love with a handsome prince. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see which one they're gonna go with. One day, when she swam to the surface of the ocean to find him, she saw that the prince was celebrating his birthday on the grandest ship in the kingdom. The Little Mermaid was captivated by the human party and stayed to watch. Then suddenly a violent storm hit and the prince was thrown from the ship into the ocean. The Little Mermaid saved the prince and took him safely to shore, but she could not stay long. She eventually had to return to the ocean and leave him on land. This is similar to Viorica's rescue. The Little Mermaid was so in love with the prince that she went to see a witch who offered to trade her a potion that would turn her mermaid's tail into legs. They struck a deal. The mermaid would sacrifice her beautiful voice for legs so that she could live with the prince on land. So in Rod's case, he traded away his voice to become a prince. However, the sea witch gave the Little Mermaid a warning and said that if she wasn't able to make the prince fall in love with her, there would be consequences. Consequences? Yes, namely, if the prince fell in love and married someone else, the mermaid's heart would break and she would dissolve into sea foam. Crap! It's the real story! And then in the actual fairy tale, she doesn't do it and dissolves into sea foam. Uh-oh. I cannot help but recoil. My expression must betray my horror because Emmeline quickly shakes her head. There's no need to be worried. Rod has said that his curse is different from the fairy tale. And you believe him? Emmeline shrugs helplessly as she puts down her now empty glass of water. The fairy tale curse always twists the original fairy tale, right? And then Viorica dies. I know, that's kind of my concern. Besides, it's not as if Rod traded his voice for legs, and I've never heard of a cursed person that dies because they can't break their curse. That may be true, but Emily does not know what Rod traded his voice for. She does not know that he did it to become a prince for Viorica. Rod is already hiding things from her. So wait, if we think if Viorica marries someone else, do you think they'll lose their title somehow? I don't know. Yeah, Rod's so good about being genuine. Remember the time he told the truth about saving his crush? Is it possible that Rod will die the day that Viorica marries Desmond? Was that his name? I think it was Desimond. There was an I in there somewhere. Later that day, I find Rod in the dining hall. He appears to be inspecting the seating arrangement for the night's banquet. He glances up briefly to look at me before returning his attention to the placards with the guests' names on them. Desimond is the name. Rude. What is it? I've been looking for you all morning. I'm distracted from what I'm about to say when I notice Rod switching the position of two placards. I frown as I catch the name on one of them. He's moving Viorica's place at the table. Is he trying to make sure she sits as far away from him as possible? Surely you have better things to do than stay in here. What happens if you cannot break your curse? Rod's movements stutter before he shakes his head sharply. That's something you do not need to know. Well, I don't want to get angry with him. But pleading is not a good look. Hey, Rod, were you gonna die in a week and you didn't tell me? Yeah, isn't the wedding, like, soon? When do I meet this Desimond fellow? He seems like a jerk. That's entrapment. Which one is sassier? Well, probably getting angry would be sassier. I feel like pleading's not a good look. But getting angry is also not a good look. Neither of these are good looks. For me, RN. Getting angry follows the pattern. Yeah, that was this is my first instinct. I don't know. I don't like either of these. Pleading is pretty wimpy. That's what I thought too. Like, we need to be a strong woman. He likes a strong woman. Rod is so hard to talk to. Rod's coldness grates at me and I find myself snapping at him. What is wrong with you? Excuse me? All I'm doing is trying to help you break your curse, but you're acting as if my trying to help you will only make things worse. No, I'm only insisting that I do not need your help. We're partners, Rod. I know that doesn't seem to mean much to you, but it means something to me. I intentionally softened my tone when I realized I've been shouting at him. You should let me help you. What for? Just because you've somehow managed to get 2 good deeds on your own doesn't mean you can help me at all, Diana. Frustration courses through me as I clench my hands into fists. Why must he be so stubborn? Is he certain I will not be able to help him at all? Someone stop me if it's wrong, by the way. Emmeline told me the story of the Little Mermaid. She said the mermaid dies if the prince marries someone else. Rod, when Viorica marries Decimond, will you— It's wrong. Okay, thank you. It's very important. I'm okay with you telling me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do that. There we go. Pleading is such a weak look, though. Come on. I don't want to plead. Nah, I thought this one too. I picked this one of my own accord. Something aches deep in my chest at Rod's coldness. Please. This is not a good look for you, girl. But he's soft for her. But, I mean, when it said get angry, I didn't think it was going to be, like, really getting angry. I thought it was just going to be, like, firm. Like, being like, you need to tell me, instead of just being like, please tell me. Rod startles so strongly that he almost drops the placard he's holding. Please tell me. We've been partners for months now. But I've barely... Yes, I know that it's an unusual partnership and that most of our helping each other has been subtle, but... I am only one good deed away from breaking my curse, while you seem to be no closer to breaking your curse than when we started. I'll do whatever I can to help you with your curse, Rod. So please let me help you. Silence falls. Moments later, Rod sighs and looks away from me. Some unspeakably sad emotion shines through his eyes. Even if I wanted your help, Diana, there's nothing you can do. Dread settles in the pit of my stomach at Rod's words. Could I be right? Will Rod actually die if he does not manage to break his curse? Emmeline told me the story of the Little Mermaid. She said the mermaid dies if the prince marries someone else. Rod, when Viorica marries Decimond, will you... My voice trails off when I hear the sound of the door behind us. Damn it! We could kill Decimond, that'd help. Is it Ophelia or the king? Rod rushes forward and grabs me before I can glance back at the door. Oh god, we're running. Ow! I become aware of a weight holding me down to the floor. The impact of the ground against my head blurs my vision, making it impossible for me to see what's happening at first. Did you just push me on the floor? Am I underneath the dining table? Yeah, I mean, we really can't draw any more attention to ourselves, to be honest. We really need to be keeping this on the DL. I struggle to try and sit up, but the weight pushes down on me again, forcing me to be still. Quiet. Rod, why did he push me underneath the table? I'm about to ask him when the sound of footsteps silences me. I cannot help but remember what Sir Mithras was saying about rumors. If Rod and I were seen alone together by the servants, the rumors will no doubt get worse. But why is Rod doing this? I stay quiet as the people that entered the dining hall began to talk. How strange for this place to be empty at this time of day. Wait, is Rod under the table with me? Oh, that's weird and awkward. Oh, good, we're gonna overhear the whole murder plot while we're under the table. There's a pause, and then another voice speaks up. You better have good news for me, Mithras. Sir Alcester and Sir Mithras? Rod's hands tighten on my shoulders. Oh, he is under the table with me. Okay, cool. I thought he was, like, just standing there and just shoved me under the table. Everything is as you requested, Sir Alcester. There should be no issues. There better not be. You've disappointed me before, Mithras. I'd be careful not to try my patience again. Yes, Sir Alcester. Sir Mithras sounds oddly subservient. But why? The two of them are both ranked equally, and neither of them should have to answer to anyone other than the king. Unless Sir Alcester truly is the witch and is forcing Sir Mithras to obey him with a spell. Or he's just evil. Wait a few minutes after I leave. We should not be seen together. I do not hear Sir Mithras respond, but I can hear Sir Alcester leaving the room. Sir Mithras sighs out, but is otherwise silent when he leaves the room after a few moments. This is why people check all areas before talking about evil things. I exhale fully as the door finally closes behind Sir Mithros. This is bad. I was so engrossed in Sir Alcester and Sir Mithros' conversation that I only just now realized that Rod is hovering over me. Oh god, hello! Hi, how's it going? Is it crying or sweat? I can't tell. Oh my god. Hey, are you alright? If someone found us under the table together, we are so fired. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine, whatever, I'm cool. You look a little... Rod suddenly pauses as he notices our positions. He stares at me for a few moments, eyes wide. We are fine. Hey, what's up? He scrambles out from underneath the dining table, and by the time I do the same, he's standing far away from me, his gaze fixed on the wall. Now kiss! He is bright red. It would be funny if I wasn't sure I was the same color. Rod clears his throat. It seems that Sir Alcester really is the witch if he has the ability to make Sir Mithros obey him. Or Sir Mithros is also a witch. Why are we not considering this possibility? Lady Parfait should be told immediately. Rod turns on his heel to leave the dining room. Rod, wait. What? This is urgent, princess. I can't just... When Viorica marries Decimond, will you die? Yeah, you kind of need to tell me that, RN. Rod pauses for a moment, but I can tell from his pained expression that he will not speak. You're running out of time, Rod. My eyes flit between Sevi and Rod. Okay, fine. Ask Sevi then. What does that mean? Nothing. He turns away from me once again and starts walking away. Rod... There must be something in my voice that makes Rod stop because he turns to look at me. Please stop running away from this. What would knowing the answer achieve, Diana? Though Rod's words are harsh, his tone is soft. There's nothing anyone can do. Leave it alone, Diana. It's for the best. I cannot help but get mad at Rod's dismissive tone. Oh, so now it's cool to get mad. I move towards him, frowning. How can you say something like that? You're not the only person that will be affected if you keep refusing to do anything to break your curse. Can you imagine what your death would do to your sister? To your mother? Losing you would destroy them. Rod's face is suddenly inches away from mine. He places his hands to the wall behind me, caging me in. Ooh, oh boy. Come on, where's my CG for that? His face is flushed with anger, but the look in his eyes is tormented. So help me, I will tell your sister, Rod. My family has been dealing with the consequences of my actions for the majority of my life. Don't think that I don't know what effect my curse has on the people closest to me. Besides, I don't want to involve you in this too. All the money went into the table scene. His voice is a whisper, but I can still hear his words. Rod. Rod pushes away from me and stalks off as I stare after him. He says that, but then he still does nothing to try and break his curse. I do not understand him at all. What is stopping him? I don't know. Bullshit, probably. Rod is absent from the palace for the rest of the day and returns only once the sun is set to prepare for the ball. I've not been able to talk to him since, but I assume he's been to the Marchant to tell Delora and Parfait about our suspicions of Sir Alcester being a witch. Even though they should have gotten my letter. Just saying. I hope they come up with an effective plan for dealing with him. They probably won't, but who knows? The palace is not safe so long as he's here. The ball's just about to start that evening, and I've been asked to make sure that none of the guests are lost and wandering out the hallways. I'm not going to the ball. I've been walking around for a while, directing any late guests to the right direction. That should be everyone. But as I turn the corner, I notice two people lingering by a column. Excuse me, the throne room is... I pause when I look more closely at the two men in front of me. I recognize one of them instantly. Oh, hello! Who are you? Damn! Alright. What is Sir Alcester doing outside of the throne room, and who is that man he's with? Alright. Hubert, is that you? I'm good. Yeah. Ah, Diana. Sir Alcester gestures me towards him and I approach warily. What? This is Varg. Well, that sounds like a fake name, but okay. He's one of the guests for the ball. Varg sweeps aside his cape as he bows, and I curtsy and dip my head to hide my expression. I've never heard of a Varg, and why would he be bowing to a mere maid? Obviously because he knows who you are. Are you an idiot? That is the most witch outfit I've ever seen. Hi, I'm the secret character you can only date after completing the game once. That would be great. Can I date him? Because I'm down. Also, why is he wearing such an elaborate costume and mask? This is not a masquerade ball. If Varg is an acquaintance of Sir Alcester. That's stereotyping. There's no telling what or who he truly is. Oh, come on. Varg is one of the suitors for Princess Emmeline. Would you please escort him to the throne room? I'll be along shortly. He's gonna, like, stab me with his cane or something, probably. Varg's politeness is even more suspicious. Of course, Sir Alcester. I meet Varg's gate. Varg is just a weird name. And cannot help but frown at the way he's smirking at me. This way? Varg and I make our way towards the throne room. I cannot help but feel wary of the fact that he's following behind me where I cannot see him. He is going to stab me. If the maids are this lovely, the princess must be truly beautiful. He will stab you with a blunt cane. Excuse me, have you seen those sword canes? It could be a sword cane. Varg laughs and I grip my teeth at the sound. It's terrifying. What? It was meant as a compliment. There's no need to look at me like that. Varg looks at me curiously. Our maid's not allowed to speak in this palace. I have nothing to say. Not the most cheerful person on staff, are you? Thankfully, the doors to the throne room appear as soon as we turn a corner, and I do not have to come up with a response to his words. I can come up with several, mostly involving expletives. We are here. I gesture towards the throne room and move to leave, but Varg's voice stops me. You should at the very least escort me inside and introduce me to the princess, don't you think? No, I don't feel like it. Isn't that what a maid should do? Technically, that's the announcer's job. But Varg came so late, he probably already missed the introduction, so you're on your own, buddy. I wouldn't want to think badly of any of the servants in the palace. I take a deep breath to calm myself down before turning towards the doors. Follow me. So I can meet her. I can tell the moment I step into the room that the official introductions have already passed. Most of the guests have already begun to mingle and scatter across the throne room as the band sets up. No one notices when I walk into the throne room in front of Varg. I do not trust Varg. No, not if he's associated with Sir Alcester. Varg is challenging our sass. I can't wait to say hello. Oh, that's tough. Well, I mean, I'd probably be more practical to warn her, but I'm probably not supposed to do that. How the hell am I gonna pull this off? He's right behind me. What am I supposed to do? Like, just walk over and be like, hey, this guy's sketchy. Watch out. Rod would believe you. Em is too trusting. You're right. But who's more important to warn? I would probably say Emmeline would be more important to warn, because he's probably going to kill her or something, but I'm gonna warn Rod because I think that's smarter. Also because I think Emmeline won't listen to me. Even though we're friends, she's like way too cool with everything that happens, so... My eyes fall on Rod. I notice that he's leaning against one of the walls, away from the crowds. I head directly for him, moving quickly so that Varg is not right behind me. No, don't take your eyes off Varg! Rod. Rod frowns at me as I come to stand in front of him. What? There's a man here called Varg. I think Sir Alcester brought him. Sir Alcester? Apparently Varg is one of the suitors for Emmeline's hand. Also, Varg is a stupid name. Can we confirm? Rod glances past me at Varg. His eyes... I can't even say it. Like we could lose Varg in a crowd. Is that him? Is that Varg? When I turn back and follow his line of sight, I almost gasp in shock. Varg is bent over one of Emmeline's hands, clearly having just pressed a kiss to the back of it. See? Okay. No, I think I made the wrong decision. Did I make the wrong decision? I did the same thing, but Emma's in trouble. Damn it! I should have gone with my gut! I should have gone with my gut! I just didn't think she would listen to me, and I thought there was a better chance of him listening to me. So, yeah. Poison lips, it's all over. I think this is way smarter, in my mind. My attention is quickly drawn to where Emmeline is moving between groups of people, introducing herself and making light conversation. I know this will be frowned upon, but this is a case of listen to gut and not listen to gut. But Emmeline's safety must come first. I make my way quickly over to Emmeline and curtsy just off to the side, trying to draw as little attention to myself as possible. Princess Emmeline, may I have a word? Emmeline is clearly... She needs a new dress. This is her ball. Is clearly shocked at my intrusion, but she masks it well. Excuse me, it appears my maid has something for me. Yes, I have a very sketchy suitor. I draw her closer to the walls where the crowd blocks us from view. I wasn't expecting you to be here, Diana. Not that I mind, but will you get in trouble? There's no time for that. I take her hand in mine and look at her somberly. This is a test of our friendship. You have to watch out for this man in a mask. Sir Alcester brought him to the ball. Why should I be worried then? I cannot exactly tell her that I think he's a witch right now. There are too many people looking. Just please be wary of him. This is basically a trying to keep Em alive chapter. I'm sure there's nothing to be worried about from anyone here, Diana, especially if Sir Alcester is involved. I'm going to slap you. On the contrary, if Sir Alcester is involved, I would also recommend staying on your guard, Emmeline. See, this is what I was hoping would happen, but I was hoping that it would be the reverse, and I would tell him, and then we would intercept. But, okay. Rod? I turned in shock to see Rod suddenly standing beside me. You should trust Diana. Thank you. What's up? Excuse me. Oh, hi, Varg. I jump back at the sound of Varg's voice. Rod takes a step forward and places his hands on my shoulder to steady me. Oh, thanks, babe. I don't believe we've been introduced. He just looks evil. Varg looks at me for a few moments, but I say nothing. He eventually turns to Emmeline, a wolfish smile on his face. Yep, definitely evil. My name is Varg, and you must be Princess Emmeline. I mean, I know that he's hot and all, but Em, I really need you to not. The tales of your beauty did not do you justice. Emmeline flushes as Varg reaches for her hand. He presses a kiss at the back of it, still grinning. I can feel Rod tense behind me. Watch him be the good guy. May I have the first dance? Emmeline bites down on her lower lip as she stares at him. I become acutely aware just how quiet the throne room has become. She cannot refuse him with so many people watching her. I feel sick but cannot bring myself to say anything more as Emmeline puts her hand in Varg's. Oh god. Come on, Rod. That was your time to be like, first dance is like brother-sister dance, buddy. So get out. Emma's so blushing. I know she is. She was. Did you see? I accept, Lord Varg. Oh my god. She's gonna die. Blood gonna be spilled. The moment Emmeline makes her way to the center of the dance floor, a man signals to the band and the musicians start playing. We need to keep an eye on them. This feels wrong. I can only nod as I watch Varg pull Emmeline closer. At first it's just he and Emmeline dancing, but the other couples gradually trickle in to join them. I do not like this at all. Rod and I watch in silence as the first dance continues on. I know for a fact that Rod must see the dreamy smile on Emmeline's face as certainly as I can, and honestly, do I blame her? No, he's kind of hot. But when the music stops, both of us move as one towards Emmeline. Even though the dance is over and Varg has released her, they still stand close together in the center of the room. The silence is interrupted when the double doors open and Sir Alcester, along with two knights, stalk into the center of the room where Emmeline and Varg stand. Their arrival causes an uneasy stir in the crowds. I also love the ball scene from Three Houses. Does no one question why he's wearing a mask when this is not a masquerade ball? I don't know. The king rises from his throne, eyebrows drawn. I forgot how hot our dad is also. Alcester, is there some kind of disturbance? Alcester says nothing as the knights stationed around the room approach Emmeline and Varg and stand around them, encircling them. Emmeline's expression shifts from confusion to fear. The crowd becomes even more anxious. What, Joe? He's kinda hot. Alcester, explain this. Alcester briefly glances at him, but says nothing. He turns back to his knights and snaps his fingers. The knights pull out their swords and point them at Emmeline. Excuse me? Em! I reach out to grab Rod's hand before he can make his way toward her. Rod, it's too dangerous. I know, but thoughtless actions have the potential to put Emmeline in even more danger. Rod's only response is to tighten his grip on my hand. I place my other hand over his to reassure him, and slowly but surely his grip begins to loosen. I turn my gaze back to the king. This is fine. She's fine. Alcester, stop this immediately. What do you think you're doing? Something I should have done a long time ago. I have been nothing but loyal to this kingdom, and all I've ever wanted was for Angiel to thrive. But ever since the queen died, this kingdom has become weak. It's because you're a weak ruler, Gennaro. What? The people were more productive back then, more disciplined during the late queen's reign. The kingdom has become less productive without fear to drive them. Where there is power, there is order. Power is not something that should be needlessly used to control people. It's used to protect them. You, of all people, should know that, but Mom sucked. Sir Alcester shakes his head. Man fight. I, of all people, know that order is what makes a hierarchy stronger. I'm only doing what's necessary. I'm reorganizing the system. Yeah, this isn't gonna be well. Hand over the crown, Gennaro. Sir Alcester turns his head to Varg, who remains standing beside a scared Emmeline. You will obey me if you do not want your precious daughter harmed. Please leave my daughter out of this. Wait, that's illegal. I think he is the guards. Emmeline steps back, her eyes now brimming with tears. Oh no, help her! Varg, seize the princess! Damn it, Varg! As soon as Sir Alcester gives the order, Rod immediately lets go of my hand and rushes towards his sister. Rod, no! I quickly follow after him, but Rod suddenly stops in his tracks. I bump abruptly into his back. Rod? Varg? Sir, is Varg actually cool? Sir Alcester's booming voice echoes around the room, which has suddenly gone eerily silent. My eyes move to Varg, but he's standing motionless. What is happening? Finally, Varg smirks. He steps to the side, standing in front of Emmeline as if to block her from view. Sir Varg. You must be delusional, old man. I'm not letting you anywhere near the princess. Varg, are you cool? Oh man, I'm sorry. I feel like you're not cool, but like... The knight's next movements are a blur as they rush at Sir Alcester. In mere moments, he's been disarmed and pinned on the ground. Well, this took a turn. This is all definitely an act. I do not trust him. His name is Varg. Several more knights have also appeared from behind to surround Sir Alcester. A man emerges from between the circle of knights. He moves to stand beside Varg and Emmeline. It's gotta be Mithros. Yeah. Sir Mithros looks at Sir Alcester disdainfully. What is the meaning of this, Mithros? We had a deal. The anger is now palpable in Sir Alcester's flushed face. Hashtag Varg. Did we now? Mithros, explain yourself. Sir Mithros drops to one knee in front of the king. Of course, your majesty. He raises his head slightly to look at the king. I have known for a long while that the man you see before you is a traitor. I was even aware of his plans, but I could not tell you of them without any evidence. 2 of your knights have tried to inform you of these plans before, but we all looked down on them with disdain. I had to make sure that I did not come unprepared like they did. Do you think that's what happened to, what's-his-face, Fritz? Jurian and Garland? Oh god, the people at Marchand! What, both of them knew of Sir Alcester's plans? Was that the reason why they were dishonorably discharged? For false accusations? I knew enough of his plan that I could thwart it. That's why I thought the best way to reveal his dastardly ways was to craft a fake alliance with him. Sir Varg and I have been working together to unravel Alcester's plans, your majesty. Varg is an invaluable accomplice. Is this legal system broken? Oh yeah, this is definitely an act. Yeah, I don't trust him. Look at his smile. He's evil, man. Wait. So Sir Mithros has been pretending to work with Sir Alcester this whole time? And so we arrived at the events of tonight. I apologize for undertaking this task without seeking your counsel, your majesty. But I could think of no better way to end this madness once and for all. You lying snake! Sir Mithros stands and turns to Alcester. He gestures at him dismissively. It's a double cover-up. Seize him. The knight's next movements are a blur. The men rush Sir Alcester all at once, and in mere moments, Sir Alcester has been disarmed and is now pinned to the ground. I thought that already happened, but okay. Isn't Sir Alcester a witch? Why is he not using his magic? No, I've said the whole time that Mithros is the witch, guys. Mithros, I'm indebted to you for saving us. The whole kingdom is. Come on, he clearly looks like a witch. I only did what was necessary, your majesty. The king glances at the knights and then at Sir Alcester, his gaze steely. Take him away. Sir Alcester struggles uselessly against the knights as they drag him away. He's nearly out the door when he starts screaming at the king. Gennaro, I keep wanting to call him Gerardo. Gennaro, you are a fool! That man is a witch, a snake! You cannot trust him! No, Alcester, I was wrong to put my trust in you. Even as Sir Alcester is pulled from the room, we can hear him babbling in the hallways about a witch. What an idiot, right? Sir Alcester never used any magic to escape. Was he truly not a witch? If he's not a witch, get the anchor. Are you alright, princess? Come on! Really, I'm pulled from my thoughts when I hear Varg's voice. He's now trying to comfort a shaken Emmeline. For a few moments, he looks away and his eyes meet mine. He smiles, but it's fleeting. And moments later, his attention is back on Emmeline. Cool, I didn't like that. It's apparently day outside, for what it's worth. The ball comes to an abrupt end after Alcester's stunt. He's thrown into a jail cell and promised a trial after a few days' time while he'll be tried for treason against the kingdom. still can't believe Sir Alcester would do something like that, and so brazenly, too. Well, that was an eventful ball. I wanted to dance with Rod, though. I know, it sucks. I wonder, what happened to Sir Fitzgerald? I forgot that was his full name. They say he vanished completely last night. Do you think he was working for his father? With his father. That's what that actually said. The truth is, I had no idea what to think. I thought I had everything figured out, but now I become more and more confused by the moment. Fritz was always loyal to a fault, but then... Sir Alcester was the same way with the king, and I've not seen or heard of Fritz for weeks. I cannot really say. Ah, good morning, Princess Emily. You're still here? Sir Varg. Varg was offered a room at the palace for a few days' visit. He's being treated as Sir Mithros' valued guest. Well, that should already raise some eyebrows, because no one ever said they knew each other. Varg slept on the floor. I've heard from other servants that he is Sir Mithros' relative who lives in a neighboring kingdom. Well, we never heard about this before. Fritz is already dead, because wasn't he also cursed? Well, we don't know that not being able to do your curse makes you die. Like, that's just what we're theorizing. Because not being able to do my curse isn't going to make me die. I'm just stuck like this forever. Also, why is he still wearing the mask? I don't know. Yes, thank you for your help last night. Is Emmeline blushing? Oh god, we gotta drive a wedge in this real quick. I know I won't be here long, but I do hope to get to know you better during the duration of my stay. I would love that. And I'm looking forward to spending more time with you. Oh, I forgot that I'm meant to be in my mother's room right now. Diana, Sir Varg, I'll see you both later. I curtsy as Emmeline walks off, leaving me alone with Varg. I cannot help but feel uneasy in his presence. Something about him puts me on edge. He makes me feel uncomfortable. Excuse me, I have errands to attend to. Wait, what? Before you head out, I have something to give you. Give me? Varg reaches into one of his pockets and withdraws a letter that he holds out to me. What is it? I know that I'm saying Varg weird, but like I can't say it normal. Like there is no normal way to say Varg. What is this about? Well, I guess you'll have to open it and find out, princess. Look at this cool letter. It's a poison letter. Don't! My blood turns to ice in my veins. He knows I'm the princess. That could only mean he is... I have no idea what you're talking about. Excuse me. I'm about to leave when Varg suddenly grabs my wrist. Yeet the letter! The play is just about to start, princess. You have a responsibility as the main character to perform impeccably until the very end. Otherwise, well... He grins at me. It's the same wolfish smile that he flashed me during the ball. You might miss out on your fairy tale ending. Give him a paper cut. What? Before I can say anything else, I feel a hand grip my other arm. Someone tugs me back and away from Varg, then comes to stand in front of me. Hey babe, how's it going? Stay away from her. Rod? Varg looks at Rod and then at me, his smile growing more crooked. What an interesting turn of events. I wonder how this will end for the both of you. Tell me, Diana, what is he to you? Oh god, really? Why? This is disgusting. Don't ask me personal questions. I don't even know you. What if he accidentally did this whole speech with the wrong maid first? I don't want to friend zone him. But like, I don't know if saying nothing is the right call. Like, he's 3 ellipses. I feel like this is distinctly friend zoning. And like, I don't want him to get that impression. So I'm tempted to go with the ellipses, even though that's really never a good option. I guess this is what my gut says, so no answer. Be in denial all you want. At the end of the day, you're going to have to decide who and what you'll choose. Just yeet Varg. Who or what to choose? Is that right? Or is there more? Oh, yeah, no, I got it. Ha! Ellipses for the win! Well, saying he's your boyfriend would also be weird. Yeah, I know. Well, that's why that wasn't an option. Silence. You're harassing one of our staff members. Of course, I apologize for my rude behavior, Your Highness. You seem to know a lot about us. Are you, I lower my voice. Are you a witch? Wow, we are just taking the direct approach. You're asking the wrong person, princess. Ah! He knows who you really are. Oh shit, oh, I didn't realize that Rod hadn't heard that first one. I forgot. I think you two are worrying too much about me. After all, I'm just a pawn in this game. Well, it's Mithros. Varg dips into an elegant bow and flashes one last smile before walking away. Are you evil? YN. Are you alright? I am. Thank you for helping me. You know I'd do anything for you. Oh my god! Whoa! That escalated quickly. Hello. Jeez. Making me blush over here. What? What? He just said that. Anything. If you clicked no, you're probably lying. Rod shakes his head before stepping away. Anything? For me? Rod coughs, pulling me from the thought. It's possible that he's a witch, or he's working with other witches, but we have no evidence to prove it. Until we figure out what's going on, you need to be wary of him. I know. Are you evil? Yes, definitely, absolutely. Rod smiles at me gently. Oh my god, he's smiling. Ah, he's so cute. The look makes my heart thud once, painfully in my chest. Stop staring at me like that. Rod looks away, his cheek tinged red. I feel my own cheeks warm at the sight. Yes, but in blue. I wasn't staring at all. Both of you are hopeless. Shut up, Sebi. Rod gives me one last look before finally turning and walking away. I place my hand over my chest where I can still hear my thudding heartbeat. This feeling, if it's what I think it is, then I have no right to feel that way about him. He's my stepbrother. Girl, you need to let that go. We need to, like, stop harping on that. We need to just let it go. I shake my head to clear the thought, then glance down at the letter that Varg just delivered to me. There's only one sentence written on it. Come to the throne room alone tonight. Who cares? We're a maid now. Oh, God. The wedding. Oh, Lord have mercy. I don't know if my voice can last through a whole nother chapter. Is it long? What a waste of paper. I want to keep going, but my voice is going. And I can feel it. Like, I don't know if I'll be... Just hang in there. How long is it? Are we gonna die? You're fine. You don't have to apologize for anything. I want to keep going. I'm just not sure if my voice can make it. It's a lot of reading, as you know. I'm not sure about chapter length. Oh, I want to keep going, but I also have other things I need to do tonight. These last couple have been long. It's long. That would be a good length for a stream, right? One chapter and then both endings for chapter 10. Bad endings are short. Well, we'd still have to do 2 chapters. I think I figured out that 2 chapters is about the length of my voice without straining it too much with doing all the reading. So that might work if you guys are okay with that. I was hoping I could do it tonight, but I wasn't expecting those 2 chapters to be so long. Yeah, and then that way, because isn't it? Okay, now correct me if I'm wrong, Delicate and Mac, because you both know. It's 2 prologue chapters and then 8 regular chapters. Like, or for each boy, is what I'm saying. Is that right? Am I remembering that correctly? Or is it 3 and 7? I really don't remember. Prologue is 2 chapters long, so we would be doing like 2 I mean, once we have to restart to get the Rod bad ending, I'll make a save, like, where you choose the boy. That way we won't have to ever do that again. We can just do, like, the actual important chapters. If that makes sense. Yeah, we can, I mean, we don't even need to do the, well, actually, I don't know how the prologue works. Sometimes you can just, like, skip straight to choosing the boy. You just use your save from the choice. Did I make a save for that? Oh yeah, it's this one. So that's good. So we have that. So we never have to play those first 2 chapters again. Right? Unless we, wait, does it give me the special boys? When we get the special boys, we're probably gonna have to do that. But for the next couple, we don't have to. I don't know. I think just based on how much stuff I have to do tonight, I'm gonna, yeah, but we can use the skip feature, so they won't take a long time. Like, if I had more time tonight, then I would be okay, but, like, also my voice is probably gonna die, like, halfway through this chapter, and I kinda don't want that. But maybe, I can try and get through the Rod bad choices up until, where we're at, so that way we won't have to, like, do all of that on stream for next time. How about that? That seems like a good idea. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. I'm very tired. I really want to try streaming for longer. Like, I want to make my streams longer, but for a visual novel like this, my voice is gonna go before my stamina, in this case. So, I'm sorry. Also, I think I'm getting sick, so that may also have something to do with it. But thanks, guys, for being patient. Hopefully, we'll definitely get through the end of this route next time, for sure. And that will probably be a good stream length. That would make sense to me. Then yeah. And then you guys, I know that Devil Kitty and Mac know what the correct order is, so then we'll just, we'll go from there, I guess. Do we have any raid messages? And seriously, guys, thanks. I promise I do want to start making my streams longer. Like, that is, like, a goal that I have going forward. But just as a reminder, competing with Stardew and winning. Hashtag Varg. I mean, we kind of have to do that, I guess. We have this week of normal streams, and next week, most likely normal streams. And then we're gonna be, things are gonna get a little bit weird for a while because I'm going into finals. And so I have a schedule, and I'll announce which days I will be streaming. It's mostly gonna be Saturdays. The Saturday streams will stay mostly intact, but basically I'm not streaming if I have a final the day before, the day after, or the day of. So the way that my finals are set up, I have breaks, which means that I probably won't be streaming super often during the 2 weeks that I have finals. So just something to keep in mind. I guess that'll be beginning of December. Varg. It's been fun. Thank you guys. Wait, we need to save. I'm gonna save here. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so next stream we do chapter 9 and both chapter 10s. Once this wins again, which I hope is soon. I'm not gonna, like, manipulate it, but I hope it's soon because I'm invested. Like, I'm super invested. And honestly, if I could keep going tonight, then I would, but I can feel my voice going, and it is very annoying. Also, I have reading to do. So, who are we going to raid? Let's see. Let me check my list of who we've raided recently, because there are several people live right now. Next time this comes up, everyone vote for it. It won't be next week, probably, but the week after is the next time it'll come up. Okay, so we could raid Farron, Liam, or Massey. Because we raided, Evan pretty recently. So, vote for Varg. Does anyone have any preferences between those people? Liam? forget how recently we've rated Liam. I feel like it was kind of recently, but that's okay. He's not, I have a list of like the last 5 people that I raid, and he's not on it. I feel like I just took him off, so like, let's do it. Let's raid Liam. That's the first. Oh, is anyone avoiding? Well, if you are, then you can jump in and raid and then jump out, and that's fine. Because I probably am, because I have stuff to do. So, hashtag Varg. And I'm gonna send you over. So I will see you on Thursday for more Ocarina of Time. I'm super excited, guys. I hope that you all will come out for Ocarina of Time blind, randomizer blind. I can talk. And I love you, and yeah, I will see you around. Okay, goodbye. If OBS doesn't crash, okay, there it goes.